welcome to another episode of MTC Snackables. My name is Rich Ross, technical architect here at the Philadelphia MTC. Today I'm joined by my colleague,
Dave Wenzel. I'm a data and AI architect with the MTC as well.
Awesome. And Dave, one of the things we both kind of run into when we talk to customers is I've got applications that I want to deploy into Azure, and but when I look at how I would do that from the command line, I've got to worry about installing the AZ tools on my machine. Maybe I don't have, maybe I don't want to put all of those on my machine. Maybe my machine is locked down and I can't even install those tools here. Do you have any suggestions for how I might go ahead and get started to deploy something into Azure without having to install things?
Sure. So I really love using the Azure Cloud Shell. So let's walk you through that.
Yeah, let's take a look.
All right. So here's a page in our Azure documentation where we're going to deploy a resource group. Let's say I want to deploy this resource group using Azure Cloud Shell. So here I am in the Azure portal, okay? And in the Azure portal, there's a little icon up here at the top right side of the screen. It's called Cloud Shell, and that's going to essentially launch either Bash or PowerShell right within the browser window. So I'm more of a Bash person, so I choose that as my default, but you can also choose PowerShell as your default. And I like the split screen mode. The split screen mode allows me to see what's going on from a point-and-click perspective versus just what's going on from a command line perspective. So at this point, I can copy and paste any commands that I might see in a documentation page and paste them over here. So what this actually does is it runs a little container under the covers, and every time I launch a Cloud Shell, it's going to persist my state from the last time it ran. So if I look here, here's all of my files, and I like to kind of just use this as my daily driver workstation for my Bash and my Linux work. So you'll notice I keep my Git repos right out here, and I keep like my to-do file and any other profile files that I may need to use right in my Cloud Shell. Pretty cool?
That is pretty awesome. So included in Cloud Shell are all the commands you need from the Azure CLI perspective.
Absolutely.
And you've mentioned Kubernetes, and being able to maintain and manage a Kubernetes instance, you usually need something like Kube, Cuddle, or Helm, or tools of that nature. Are they in there too?
Yes.
That's awesome. So you're able to basically manage all of those components right inside of the browser without having to install anything on your machine.
Yep. So here's one interesting fact. What happens if you walk away to go and get coffee? Well, what's going to happen is the Cloud Shell times out after about 20 minutes, which is one thing that can sometimes be annoying. So here's a little pro tip for you. If you know that's going to happen and you don't want your session to time out because you're going to lose your variables, just simply type watch ls, and it's going to basically cycle the ls command on your screen every few seconds, and this prevents the Cloud Shell from timing out. And then just do a Control-C when you're all done, and it will close that for you and bring you back to whatever you were working on. Pretty cool?
That's pretty awesome. So all that's really great. Where is this information stored? Because it's got to be residing somewhere in Azure, right?
Right. So basically, there's a storage account that keeps all of this information persisted. So again, all of my Git repos are actually persisted down in a file system. But here's something else that's pretty neat too. Let's say that I develop some code locally on my machine, and I want to upload that to my Cloud Shell to execute it. So it's very easy to do. I have this little upload download option, and I choose upload, and then I have a nice little shell script that I have here that creates a resource group, and I'm going to upload that. Notice it says it's complete, and when I actually look at my directory listing again, it installs it right there. So it puts it right in my root.
So you've got storage that persists.
Yep.
You have files that you can essentially upload, Git repos that you can pull down. How do you edit all of this? We don't have to go into Vim, do we?
No. And did you know, Rich, that the most asked question on Stack Overflow is how do I exit Vim? And most people just reboot their machine.
I was going to say, that's usually the answer,
right? No, there's actually a fairly easy way to do this. There's a little button up here. It looks like 2 brackets, and it opens Visual Studio Code Editor. So what you're seeing here is all of my files, again, that I have in my Cloud Shell. And if I want to take a look at that file I just uploaded, I click that guy, and there it is. And I can edit it from this point. And I can save it right over here.
And you even get IntelliSense.
And you even get IntelliSense, absolutely.
That is impressive. All in the cloud, all in the browser. And you can take it with you wherever you go. So you log in from grandma's machine while you're away at Christmas vacation, and you're covered.
Even works on your phone.
That's right. So even in the mobile app, the Azure app, you can run it on your phone.
Yeah.
That is impressive. So Full capabilities of doing all the command line, all the PowerShell activities, all from the browser, and without having to install anything. That's pretty impressive.
Yes, absolutely. Great way to be productive.
Yeah, and if those are the kind of tips and tricks and discussions that we can have when you come into the MTC. We'd love to have you come in here and learn about Cloud Shell or learn about all of the other great things you could do in Azure and from a data and AI perspective as well. So if those are of interest to you, talk to your account team. We'd love to see you come into the MTC. Thanks for watching another edition of MTC Snackables.